I cannot believe it, but we are now into the 6th month of this year, and June is certainly looking like a strong month for video game releases. If you're like me and cannot wait for Diablo 4, and this will no doubt take up a lot of your gaming time. However, the Xbox team is not slowing down, as we have 12 brand new games arriving onto Game Pass for the first half of this month. Today, we will cover all 12 games coming soon. And remember guys, to subscribe for more Xbox content and use code XboxNation5 at xboxnation.co.uk for 5% off any Game Pass, gift cards or game purchases. Right, first up we have the beautiful and charming hand-drawn game known as Chicory. This game has been out for some while now on all different platforms and is a fantastic top-down adventure all wrapped up in a colouring book world. You will go and explore new places, solve puzzles and help your friends with your painting powers, and ultimately it's just such an awesome package. I highly recommend you play this game from personal experience, and it arrives onto Game Pass for console, cloud and PC today. Now, another game that also arrives onto the service for console and PC Game Pass today is Far World Pioneers. This is a game that looks very similar in nature to Terraria, so if there is any fans of that game, certainly keep this on your radar. Far World Pioneers is slightly different in that you explore the universe in this open world sci-fi sandbox with up to 32 players online in one server. As the game is centered around exploration, it's all up to you with how you play, and you can craft, build, mine or farm peacefully, or if you really want to, bring out the big guns and destroy everything in your wake. One game that was rumoured for Game Pass, and I stated that over the last month, is finally arriving on June 1st, and that is the awesome Car Mechanic Simulator. Now, this was leaked a couple of weeks back, and I'm so glad we're seeing this fantastic simulator title arrive onto the service for cloud, console and PC. This game will put you in the shoes of a mechanic as you immerse yourself in a highly realistic garage, fixing cars, building your business and ultimately becoming the owner of your own service empire. There are over 4,000 unique parts in total and over 72 different cars, so there's so much content to get your hands into. We actually have 3 games that are also arriving onto Game Pass on the 1st of June, and our next title is one that really still confuses me and I really have no clue what it is about at all. Slayers X Terminal Aftermath Vengeance of the Slayer is our next game and is probably the most outrageous and confusing looking FPS that I've ever come across. From what I can tell, you will take control of Slayer X and blow everything up across multiple maps with lots of weapons, blood and gore, and twisted music by C-Page and Psycho Syndicate. It seems all outrageous and I'm sure many of you as confused as I am. Now, one game that I am familiar with and know is a great game to pick up is The Big Con. Don't let the simplistic art style fool you, as this game really harkens back to the 90s and will certainly pick up the nostalgia for anyone born or were a teenager during that era. In this game, you will hustle your way through 90s America as a runaway teen, and you, as you guessed it, are a con artist. You will hustle, grift and sneak around while trying to get as much money as possible. It is a great comedic crime adventure and certainly worth a go when it arrives onto Game Pass on the 1st of June. We are finally getting this next release on the 6th of June after multiple small delays, and that is none other than Amnesia The Bunker. We are finally getting the next installment of the horrifying series that has caused many to jump and get scared. This is a game set in World War I and you are abandoned in a desolate bunker with dark and mysterious creatures stalking you at all times. The gameplay shown so far looks absolutely fantastic, and I think many have been waiting for a proper heart-pounding experience for quite some time. This game will require you to think on the spot, as the ever-present terrors will accustom themselves to your every single move. It will arrive for Game Pass for cloud, console and PC. Our next game that is also arriving on June 6th is a return to Game Pass, and that is the 90s internet simulator Hypnospace Outlaw. This game is pretty unique and tasks you with scouring Hypnospace's wide variety of weird and wonderful websites to hunt down wrongdoers, whilst also keeping an eye on your inbox, avoiding viruses and adware, and downloading a plethora of apps that may or may not be useful. It's such an odd game and many honestly rave about how good the experience is from start to finish. I haven't played this game myself, but I might as well do so soon, and if you haven't, it lands onto console, cloud and PC within the next few days. Now, this next game will have all of you JRPG fans just foaming at the mouth. Rune Factory 4 is finally arriving onto Xbox Game Pass, and this is one JRPG that many fans have been asking for for a very long time. The original release was all the way back on the Nintendo 3DS, and many will agree that it is so irresistibly charming. It has a plethora of things to do and a variety of ways to do them, and features some lovely graphics and catchy tunes. Those charms are slightly tarnished by a kind of paper-thin plot, uneven pacing, and an underutilized monarchy system, but even with a few smudges on its noble crown, Rune Factory 4 is a game that you need to play. There were a lot of murmurings recently across the Twitter space that we'd be seeing even more Double Fine games arriving onto Game Pass, and we finally got the announcement that Stacking is coming on June 8th. This is a beautiful game that lets you explore a vintage world inhabited by living Russian stacking dolls. There are more than 100 unique dolls, and using their special abilities to solve a wide variety of puzzles and challenges. It's a really charming game, and again shows Double Fine at their best with their weird and whacking but amazing ideas. Definitely give it a go when it arrives onto Game Pass within the next 7 days. Now, one game that also got announced very recently for Game Pass and is joining the lineup this June is Doin. I will say it right now, but this game has one of the most incredible artistic directions I've seen in my years of gaming, and I was absolutely gobsmacked by the visual style. This immediately shot to the high of my list simply for the visuals alone, but you must be asking, what is this game about? Well, you will play as Mimi, who is exploring the precious recollections of her childhood and the times that she shared with her late grandmother. As past meets present, you will confront your adult choices with fond childhood memories to uncover lost family secrets. I simply cannot wait for this drop in June, and I hope you will all join me in being hyped for this indie darling. Last Tuesday, we also had a pretty decent game that also shadow dropped onto the service and is available for you to play right now. Superland 6 Inches Under is the second game in the series and aims to improve on everything from the first installment. This is a first-person Metroidvania-inspired title, and it's well worth a go if you've had Game Pass. I've personally already put 15 hours into this game so far, and even with its quirks and awkward controls at times, it's a very fun game and well worth playing if you like solving puzzles and some light platforming. Now, one game that is not a full release but has a 10-hour free trial for all Game Pass Ultimate members is Super Mega Baseball 4. This is a very arcadey baseball experience and includes some really over-the-top moves and gameplay. Super Mega Baseball 3 was on Game Pass a little while ago, and it was a really fun time, and these games are just so great to play with friends. There are over 200 legends within the game, so with some you might recognize, but are all customized with this cartoon-inspired art style. Definitely give it a go, as the trial is available right now. How would you rate the Game Pass games on this list for this month? Let me know in the comments below, and subscribe for more Xbox content every single week. Whilst here, check out 12 awesome FPS games arriving onto Xbox this year.